Over the last couple weeks, people that have deeply cared about the lakes here in the Detroit Lakes area and across the state of Minnesota have had some very disturbing news with the realization that Lake Melissa is now officially infested with zebra mussels, and a week later having Pickerel Lake added to that list as also being a lake infested with zebra mussels. And I'm frankly a little bit somber when I talk about this subject because I feel like we have failed here in the lakes area to protect our bodies of water. And I think there's enough blame to really go around. Really, this issue came front and center, or should have, to people in this area in 2009-2010. October of 2009 is where Pelican Lake was diagnosed as having zebra mussels in it. Shortly thereafter, the lake south of there began to be infested as boat use and the water with the villagers continued to flow downstream. From that point in 2009-2010, the number of lakes in Minnesota that have been infected with zebra mussels has more than quadrupled. It's because Pelican Lake, along with other lakes like Mille Lacs, which are considered super spreader lakes because of the mass amount of boat and recreation use that they have for fishing and jet skiing and everything that you can do on those particular lakes, causes just tons of traffic and people move around all over. But really, blame for this is put at the feet of, I think, the state, the county, property owners, fishermen, lake associations, everyone, for frankly not being able to rally and make this whistle blow loud enough. Now granted, there's a bunch of funding that's been passed this last legislative session. That funding is coming, in my opinion, about 3 years too late. A lot of things have been done too late. At the county level, at the city level, at the state level, locally as well. There was a handful of hardcore people here in the lakes area that got those aquatic invasive species summits going and brought a lot of attention to this issue and got the ball rolling. They screamed at the top of their head that this was going to happen here as a matter of time if we did nothing. I'm not saying we did nothing, but we did next to nothing in our efforts to truly curb aquatic invasive species. And now that they have 2 lakes in Becker County officially infested, I have to assume there are more, especially since Lake Melissa is right in the chain with Detroit Lakes, Sally, Floyd, and the rest. Granted, it's not going to happen overnight that these lakes could potentially have their ecosystems destroyed or severely curtailed. But now that the zebra mussels are there, the fact of the matter is, it's only a matter of time. We're probably going to have to put a lot more research or money into research at the University of Minnesota and other places. I don't know if prevention's worked. The spread keeps happening. And it keeps happening for a number of reasons, because you and I and our local governments have not gotten serious enough about enforcement of protecting the lakes and education about protecting the lakes. We've tried a lot about education, but still the boat plug law was put in effect I don't know how many years ago, 4 or 5, and about 20% or more of boats being checked still don't even have that boat plug in, which is a big, or has the boat plug in not out, which allows water to drain, a big spreader of zebra mussels. So they're here. They're in our lakes now. Now we've got to deal with them. And the sad point is, people that recreate here in the lakes area and Detroit Lakes from now on will never have the same experience, and the lakes will probably never be as good as they were for you and I when we first came here, when we first moved here, or when we used to vacation here. Now, I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom and the world's going to end, but it's a big, big blow. And if those 2 lakes are infested, and we've discovered them this year, if what happened in Otter Tail post-2009-2010 transitions itself in Becker County here, and there's no reason to think it won't, in the next couple years we'll be adding many, many more lakes to that list, because the sad truth is the villagers are probably already in a lot of these lakes. They're probably already infested. We just haven't been able to actually find it. And on that note, the Becker County Board of Commissioners was looking at opening up the tram last week. By the time we record this, I don't know if they made the decision. They closed it down during the 4th of July. I think any attempt to make boat traffic easier to go back and forth from lakes with not being properly treated is a mistake of any county government or any local government. And if we go down that route, it shows me that they are truly out of touch with what the wishes of most of the people in the area are.